So this is part 5 of my mini series of my hair story. So I hope you guys are enjoying this mini series, and you know, so let's just get started. Okay, so I'm glad you guys tuned in for part 5, and I said in my last in part 4 that I was going to talk about how I came about, you know, big chopping. Alright, so as you guys know, if you have been following me and things of that nature, I had transitioned for about 8 or 8.5 months, something like that. And in one of my videos, I was talking about, you know, thinking about big chopping and things of that nature. I'll link it down in the bottom, the description bar below, and you guys can look at that video. I was just very distraught, and you know, I just had to big chop. Like, I was trying to wait for a year. I was definitely trying to wait for a year, but the two textures were really bothering me, and I could not take it anymore. So I decided on July 1st of last year to big chop my hair. It was kind of on a spur moment. I had a set goal to big chop in August. I was gonna wait probably like 1 more month, but I couldn't do it. I really couldn't do it. I was like, you know what, this is the time and I have to do it. So I remember the BET Awards or some type of awards was on, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go into this bathroom and do it. And then I took my camera, you know, and I was like, I'm just gonna record some of it and not all of it, because it was kind of late, I think. So I was like, you know, I just record some of it and then, you know, talk about it after or what have you. So, you know, I've been bought my scissors a while ago from Sally's, you know, and it was a decent amount of money. It's not the top notch, you know, shears, but they were pretty good. And I was cutting my hair. If you guys want to see the big chop video, I'll put it up here so you guys can see my big chop video. And it was very, I just, you know, just started chopping away. So my first chop, my first, you know, snip, I was definitely like, OMG, like, what am I doing? And I had to keep going, because anyway, I had cut a piece of my hair in the front, you know, a while before I big chop, and also in the back just to see some of my curls and things of that nature. And so I was like, you know what, and I kept doing like mini chops. I was doing mini chops, and you know, just chopping all the way up, you know. So there were, you know, my hair was like short. It was like ear length. So I just was like, you know, I might as well just cut it, because you know, I keep mini chopping. I might as well just do the final chopping and that's it. So I did it, and all right, it was crazy. I, you know, deep conditioned my hair. I washed my hair, deep conditioned it really good, because when you big chop, your hair is really dry. And when I was big chopping, I did chop off more than I was supposed to, but I'm glad I did, because, you know, just to even it out and make it, you know, whatever. And if you guys are not comfortable with big chopping your hair, you know, go to a professional. But I just was like, you know, let me do it myself. I can do it. I mean, what's so hard about it? I mean, you know, it's not even. You know, I'm not saying, oh well, but later on down the line, if it grows weird, it grows weird. And I think one side of my hair grows, you know, along the other side anyway. So it's like, it's gonna be like that anyway. So anyway, I was like, okay. So I big chopped it. I, you know, washed my hair. I DC'd. I forgot what I washed it with or DC'd with, but yeah, I really don't know. But I did that. I DC'd for a while. I guess my regular hour, how I usually did when I was transitioning, and that was it. So my hair was tight short. You know, when I first big chopped, I didn't think my hair was that short, but my hair was about like 2 or 3 inches, give or take, and or 2.5 or 3 inches, or something like that. It wasn't long. I thought it was, but now I look back at my other videos, I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, my hair is looking, it looks short. So if you guys want to check that video out, I'll link it up here or put it in the description box below. I think it's my TWA update or something like that. So if you guys want to check that out, I'll have it there for you. And it was crazy. Like, I was just so like elated. I felt like free. Like, after I big chop, I felt like it was just like, thank you. Like, I finally got rid of those ends. Like, those ends are gone. I'm not relaxed anymore. I'm just like free. Like, I'm 100% natural. Yes. So it was just a very good celebration, and you know, I big chopped before my birthday, and that was cool. So not day before my birthday, but like it was like a week before my birthday. But anyway, My birthday's in July, so. But anyway, I just was like, wow, like it was just so like so nice. And then when I cut my hair, I got a lot of positive comments. A lot of people was like, oh, your hair looks nice. People were like, your hair looks healthy. And it was crazy. I meant, you know, I didn't expect a lot of positive comments, you know, and I don't know if I had like a negative comment. I think I did. I'm not sure, but you know, you're gonna experience that as your natural, you know. And I look at it sometimes as haters too, so it's just like, get out of here, brush them off, whatever. Like, who are you? Like, you know. Anyway, I don't got time for the ignorant comments, but that's basically it. And you know, I big chopped. I'm glad I did. I'm definitely glad I did. I love my natural hair. I'm glad I big chopped the time I big chopped it. Even if I did it, you know, later or sooner. And I'm thinking in my head, I should have done it sooner. You know, my hair really would have been short. Been like, but I'm glad I did it when I did. You know, you take your time and you big chop when you feel. You know, don't big chop because so-and-so said or so-and-so was doing it. Or, I mean, if you do get inspiration by somebody, you want to big chop because somebody big chop, you know, that's cool, that's good. But make sure you're ready. Like, make sure you're ready to take that, because that's a big step. I think it was a big step for me. Like, it was a really big step, you know, because I don't think I ever had my hair that short. I never wore my hair out short like that. And I remember before I even, you know, considered being natural, I would look at people that cut their hair like that. I'm like, wow, they cut all their hair like that? Like, why? You know, their hair would be like waist length and they'll cut it, you know. I'm like, oh, I would never do that. You know, never say never. So, man, look at me now. So, that's basically it for that. And as far as like, you know, YouTubers that inspire me, I think I'm going to do a separate video about that. A lot of YouTubers inspire me. If you look at my very first video on YouTube, I talk about some of them. As far as like Natural 85, Simply Unique, I spoke about Kiki Couture 10, who else right now? But I'm definitely going to do a video about that and, you know, show you guys, because they really inspire me. It's a lot of them. And I just want to, Alicia James Music, and yeah, so that's a separate video. I don't want to, you know, but as I was going through, you know, transition, everything like that, I was still looking at the videos, you know, subscribing to people, and it was just crazy. And I just appreciate those YouTubers that are out there that are, you know, that have been on here for a while and showing, you know, other YouTubers, you know, or other people that's following them, you know, what, you know, about their hair and documenting and things like that. I think that's a really cool thing. And I like to, you know, I like to look at, you know, natural YouTubers and things of that nature, and get tips and share tips and things of that nature, and see, you know, other suggestions and what can you do for, you know, for dry hair, moisture and seal, what conditioners they use, reviews. And I love watching reviews. Like, I really love watching reviews. Like, I don't base, you know, buying a product on a review, but I just like to look at reviews before I buy the product. And when I look at the reviews, I weigh, you know, what's the pros and the cons, and I make the decision to buy it or not. And when I buy it, and if it don't, you know, work, then I, you know, whatever. But, you know, sometimes I, you know, don't buy it or whatever like that. But not to get sidetracked, but that's basically on my big chop. You know, I really, you know, like my big chop. I'm glad that I did what I did, you know, and it's cool, you know. So that's basically it. And right now, you know, this is where I am now. I'm here now, and you know, I'm glad that I did the big chop. And it sounds like this is a conclusion, but it really isn't. I just want to sum everything up on the next part. So I just want to say, you know, this is like my big chop. It's just cool. I just like it a lot, and I'm glad I did it. And you know, what I experienced through the big chop was, you know, dryness. And when I did, you know, my twist outs and things of that nature, my twist outs wasn't coming out the way I wanted them to. I had to use bobby pins to hold them down because my hair was short. And so after a while, I wasn't even doing twist outs. When I first big chop, I was doing wash and goes, you know, every other day with Eco Styler gel. and it was making my hair hard, and I don't like the hard feeling in my hair. As you guys know, if you've been following me, I don't like that feeling. So I shied away from Eco Styler Gel. That's why I don't use Eco Styler Gel anymore, because it makes my hair hard. I don't like the hardness of my hair. That's why I don't use it anymore. I use it every once in a blue. Like if my hair is really not cooperating, I just put like a little bit on it. I don't slather it up like I do the styling gel and the curls control paste. But that's basically it with that. And as my hair grew out, I started doing, you know, twist outs, you know, more twist outs, as opposed to when my hair was a little bit shorter. I was doing like the puffs. I was doing puffs, and I was doing you know, just wearing a headband and wearing my hair like that. But now I love the twist outs. I love that. That's my go-to style: twist out and puff. As you see, twist out, puff, twist out, puffs. But as my hair gets longer, I know I will be doing more other styles, as far as, you know, and show you guys what I do. So that's basically with that. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please don't hesitate to ask. The next part will be part 6, and that will be the conclusion, the end of my hair story mini series. Sorry. So that's basically it. So if you guys, you know, like I said before, if you have any experiences that you want to talk about or whatever like that, leave them down below. If not, send me an inbox, and that's basically it. So thank you guys for watching my mini series. Thank you again, and welcome to all my new subscribers. I try to go on your pages and, you know, try to say thank you on it, but it's hard. I be trying, but I just want to give a broad thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you watching me talk and blab and stuff like that. So alright, so if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please don't hesitate to ask, and that's basically it. So have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed day and night whenever you're watching this. Bye.